Hello! In this video I'm going to talk a bit about this 3D printed model that I've painted and embellished. It's a little fairy hut and the model is by Kijai. I've provided a link to the paid STL in the description below, as well as a link to my blog and a link to a video I made going over my materials, so that I don't have to get into that too much in these brief painting kind of videos. So yeah, now that I've covered all of that, I guess I should get on to the painting. Actually, before I get into the painting, I'm going to say that this model prints in two pieces, and it's been widened so you can put a battery operated LED inside, and as you can see, the windows are hollow, so you get the light coming out, and it's really cool that way. But if you don't want to do that, you can of course glue it all together, and that's fine too. So as with all of my prints, I primed this first in a uniform color with a thin layer of acrylic paint, and I brushed it in because I prefer to brush than spray, but you can spray if you prefer. It's not a big deal. The next thing I did was I blocked in my colors. I made the roof green, I made the stones brown, I made the stones around the door gray, I made the door green. This bit here, this little awning is brown, and the windows were actually just the same color as everything else. I highlighted and added in the metallics later. So after the base colors were done, I went in for my shadows. It was a dark green on the roof. It was a darker brown to a black to get into all these beautiful little stones here. And it was black around the edges of the door frame and the wood of the awning. And obviously I painted this all in the two separate parts because it's easier. Even if you plan to glue it together, definitely do your painting separate first so that you get into all these little crevices. So after that was finished, and dried, I went in for my highlights. It's a light brown here, light gray on the door frame. I highlighted with a metallic green for the door, a bit of a lighter brown for this bit here. It was actually a metallic gold that I did on the roof, and I painted this little chimney gold as well. Then I went in and I painted all of the window frames with the gold. The window boxes here I didn't really mention before, but they were brown and they got a little bit of a gold dry brush as well. And as I tend to do with all of my models, I went back and forth a few times with shadows and highlights until I got it the way I wanted. I never get it right on the first try. It takes me a lot of time to get one of these models done because I'm really quite particular going back and forth. And yeah, that was pretty much the paint job, to be honest. You can see this window frame was done in gold as well. This bit around, it's kind of a almost like a foundation that was done with gray and black. And then it was just on to the embellishing, and that was achieved with white school glue, gluing on static grass, clump foliage, and lichen, as I do with many of my models, and I just did it until it looked right to me, and that was all. So yeah, that's quite a fast video, I guess, for this one. I painted the inside of the house white because I wanted to make sure it reflected as much light as possible when you put the tea light in. I don't know if you'll be able to see. You can kind of see the light shining through the windows. and the white inside definitely helped to bring that out. So yeah, that's all. Bye.